What's going on, everyone? It's Ben from YGO from Zero, back with another retro Yu-Gi-Oh video. Now, this is going to be a real quick one. It's basically just an addendum to the video that I released yesterday, covering the new cards in Reaper format, going from Cyber format to Reaper format. There were a lot of new cards introduced, so things were pretty easy to miss, and especially when it's not really listed on the Yu-Gi-Oh wikis. And that was the case for these three cards that were dual spec special edition cards. Big shoutouts to Invader Weasel for actually pointing this out to me and commenting on my video to notify me that these cards existed and were in the card pool. These cards aren't really that good, but it is important to cover them just for completeness sake. So let's start with Blockman. Blockman is a level 4 rock, 1000 attack, 1500 defense. Basically, you can tribute this card, special summon in defense, a number of block tokens with the same stats as this, equal to the number of turns this card has been face up on the field. Those targets cannot declare an attack. So this card is not really that good. It can be used to trigger Last Will, but if you're going for an Earth target trigger Last Will, you'd probably want to go for like Exiled Force instead. I mean, you could use it in like a Mega Rock Dragon deck, which is trying to get rocks engraved to bring out Mega Rock Dragon, which is a really big boss monster that can be really cool. So I guess you could do that, but in that sort of deck, you don't really want to trigger Last Will. So I don't really know why you'd play this over other things instead. But still need to have in the format, and this is probably the most relevant card for the format, as it could potentially see play in a very, very niche strategy. Now, the other cards, they're not going to see play at all. First is Hero Spirit, the normal trap says during the battle phase, if an elemental hero monster you controlled was destroyed by battle this turn, make the battle damage from one of your opponent's monsters 0. So, I mean, if you could use this to stop like a big OTK push, but like if you want to do that, Threatening Roar Waboku are just much, much better in general. So I don't know why you'd really want to use this instead. But I mean, I guess if you just want to make a hero deck teched out with only cards related to elemental heroes, then you could potentially play this. But if you're not doing that and you're trying to make actually a competitive deck in the metagame, this card would not really see any play. Next up, we got Treasure Map. Treasure Map is a normal trap that says you can only activate this card in response to the activation of an effect that would return this card from the field to the hand. Draw 2 cards from your deck and discard 1 card from your hand. So, I mean, this card is like okay if your opponent activates Trunade and they bounce this back to hand. And then it's like, oh, but I'm going to draw deeper into my deck. Maybe I draw into a Karibo to stop your big OTK pushes or something like that. But like realistically, if you want to stop an OTK push after a Trunade, you just go for Threatening Roar Waboku. And so you don't really need this whole sort of drawing deeper into your deck to discard 1 card. And if they're going for a Trunade, they're probably just winning the game at that point. So if you're doing this just to sort of be in a better position long term, it won't matter because you're just going to lose that turn. So this card should not really see any play, but it is kind of interesting to see them experimenting with effects. And I think it's kind of neat that, like, I think this is the only card that really says you can only activate this in response to an effect that returns this to hand, at least at this point in the game's history, which is kind of a neat sort of effect that they're playing around with, but unfortunately it's not very good. But that's going to do it for the new cards added to Reaper format. I hope that you enjoyed this sort of little addendum. Let me know what you think about these cards down in the comments below. And if you want to play any games in Reaper format or any of the other formats that I've covered on the channel, definitely join the YGO from Zero Discord server, linked in the description down below. Also, if you enjoyed this sort of video, please do subscribe to the channel. We'll be having some Reaper content on the channel really, really soon, starting this week. So look forward to that. It should be a lot of fun. I'm excited to dive into it myself. And if you want to support me directly, I also have a Patreon linked in the description down below. And if you sign up for that, you'll be shouted in these videos. So big shout outs to GMYFS, Rinswin, Porkchop, Brandonker, Dump Truck, and Tyler Compton. It really means a lot that you all support me this way and motivates me to make more videos like this. I hope you enjoyed this video as always. And until next time, I've been Ben from YGO from Zero and I'm signing off.